Connecting time, connecting time. Okay guys, it's Friday. It is the 18th of January 2019, and it's, just like any other day where we can chat about cryptocurrency. So I did a live stream at, when was it? The start of the week. I think it was about Monday or something. And I just want to catch up with a few different things. We can catch up with the exchange hacks, but I also wanted to talk about some graphics cards. I want to talk about Bitmain because there seems to be a lot of things happening with that. And I also want to talk about this Grin coin, which is being mentioned by everyone. So I want to delve deeper a little bit and learn more about it. I really don't know enough about it yet. So hopefully you guys can either explain what it's all about, or, I can figure it out myself whilst doing the live stream. So anyone who's watched my stream before knows what the script is, knows what it's all about. The direction of the conversation in this type of stream is dictated by who turns up, what we chat about, and we go down the cryptocurrency rabbit hole and just really cover the news and chat about what's been happening in crypto. It's one of those things, as a YouTuber, obviously I can do pre-recorded videos and upload them and edit them and make them all nice and all that. But I always find live streams to be one of the most enjoyable aspects of running a YouTube channel. I always enjoy the back and forth conversation. It's a little bit better than just, uploading a video and waiting for comments. I really do enjoy live streams. So if you're watching, please do say hello, join the party, and we'll take it from there. This is completely off topic. Basically, my friend just messaged me there. My friend said, so this has got nothing to do with cryptocurrency, right? So my friend just messaged me there because he was looking for a laptop and he was asking which laptop to get. And I've got an old laptop sitting there. So I say, he's right, I just need to clear the hard drive and then I'll give you it and all that. And he just sent me a message there asking if I'd wiped all the porn off the laptop yet. So I haven't actually, I've not formatted the drive yet, so I need to get that formatted for him. The joys. So I need to do that. That's very easy to do through Windows. So there's a lot of things happening in crypto, as always. Before I look at, I've as always, and what I normally do is I get a few windows open. But before I do that, I just want to kind of catch up with some of what's been happening on Reddit as well, as far as the latest news, etc. I'm not sure if I can change it to the old style. There's normally a button here to change to the old style. There we go, classic, compact. I think classic will do us here, right? So this is the cryptocurrency subreddit. There's a few other things you can see at the top of my browser, which I have kind of put there before. And if there's anything relevant, I'll add it to the description of this video so that anyone who's watching this later can see what we're talking about. Kraken CEO warns, please do not store crypto on any exchange. Yeah, this is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. This is something that we see time and time again. In the live stream the other day, when I was doing the live stream the other day, I talked about this and I said, listen, if you're going to have your money on an exchange, send your coins here, sell or buy or do whatever you're going to do your trades back and forth. And then when you have the coins that you have, send them back to your wallet. Now, of course, if you're a day trader, if you're doing lots of trading, you're going to have to keep some funds on the exchange, but you shouldn't keep all your money on the exchange. You should really keep like 5% or 10%, whatever it may be. Don't lose, don't put any money on the exchange that you're not going to be upset about losing. And that's basically what this article is about. Please do not store crypto on any exchange, warns CEO of major crypto exchange Kraken. So I don't know this guy, but yeah, he seems to be fairly level-headed if he's saying that. Investors shouldn't hold crypto on exchanges. A more secure way of storing cryptocurrencies is a hardware wallet or non-custodial wallet that allows you to manage their own private keys. Please do not store more coins on an exchange than you need to actively trade. I think this guy's been listening to me. He's been listening to me. Hey Necrobus, welcome to the stream, mate. yeah, yeah, it's good advice, and it's something that is worth repeating. Some people can be very unlucky because they might have a certain amount of cryptocurrency and they'll send it to an exchange at a particular point to sell all of it for whatever reason. They have to liquidate their funds and they have to get some money for taxes or for whatever reason it is. And you could be very unlucky, and just when you send a lot of money to an exchange, you could lose it all. So you really kind of need to spend a little bit of a time and withdraw your funds. Some experts have argued that major centralized exchanges can be safer for casual or beginner crypto users because it's possible for new users to mismanage private keys and sensitive data. I guess that is a good argument. I guess for beginners who aren't backing up sensitive data, such as the private keys, the wallet.dat files for wallets, those people could actually lose their information. They might not have a cryptocurrency wallet such as a ledger, so yeah, maybe they're not in a position to actually store the keys correctly, and maybe it's safer keeping it on Coinbase or Binance or SafeTrade or whatever. Yeah, can't argue with that whatsoever. The guy speaks the truth. Right, what else have we got here? I own some cryptocurrency. Let's see. As to everyone, possible answers are yes or no. Turkey, 18%. I mean, we are seeing it more common in countries where, you know, the currency is perhaps not reliable, or there's problems with the government or with political problems and all that. We saw that in Iran and Venezuela as well. The Thai Stock Exchange officially asked for permission to trade cryptocurrency. Makes sense. Okay, Cryptopia heist. Let's see what this is all about. Oh, this is something I did want to talk about. This is something I saw on Twitter the other day. Coinbase are now allowing PayPal withdrawals in the UK, and of course I am from the UK, so this interests me. Starting today, you can link your PayPal and Coinbase accounts for instant withdrawals. That's pretty cool. I like the idea of being able to withdraw my crypto from somewhere like Coinbase directly to PayPal, so that if I've got, you know, money to pay on PayPal, if I need to send money somewhere, or even if I just want it, you know, sitting there to buy something on eBay or whatever, I think this is quite significant. And I'm not the biggest fan of PayPal. I have to use it a lot because I'm paid in PayPal by a lot of different people. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, and I do realize that they can be very problematic with certain things as far as withholding funds and all that. But I also recognize that PayPal is still going to be around. I don't think PayPal is going to disappear anytime soon. And what this is, you know, Coinbase to PayPal is a bridge, and is basically integrating cryptocurrency more into everyday lives. That's what this is. That's what this is. And that is a good thing. Whether you like PayPal or not, that is a good thing. I really do think that's a good thing. And it also means that you can change your Bitcoin or your Litecoin or whatever and use it. And you know, you're maybe not buying with crypto directly, but just by withdrawing from, you know, Litecoin or Bitcoin or Ethereum, whatever it may be, directly to your PayPal account, you can then go and spend money. You know, PayPal is accepted by so many online shops. So yeah, not a big fan of PayPal. I do use them though. I do use them a lot though. But that's good news. I think that's good news. What do you think? What do you think? Let me know. So Cryptopia heist. Right. Let's see what this is about. So I talked about the Cryptopia heist. I'm calling it a heist now. I talked about the Cryptopia attack, the attack on the exchange at the start of the week, and this follows, you know, what happened last week with the attack on SafeTrade. And I saw someone as well saying it could be happening with Polynex today as well, but I don't think it is. And yeah, this is just, you know, the environment we're in just now. There's a lot of attacks There's a lot of attacks going on, and it's bad. I don't like seeing this in crypto. I really don't really like seeing this in crypto. We did discuss this at great length the other day. So let's see what's going on here. Imagine if your bank emailed you to say it was carrying out unscheduled maintenance, so you wouldn't be able to deposit or withdraw money for a while. Following the digital trail, wall of text. Okay, so it's actually got a list of the top hacks. Now, this is the thing. This is the thing about when people are talking about exchanges being hacks. I mean, look at this CoinCheck, MTGOX, which is, you know, we're still feeling the shockwaves from that years later. BitGrail, Bitfinex. Look at the number of exchanges that have been hacked. OKX, and it's important to remember that a lot of these exchanges are still around. Shapeshift is one of the major currency conversion services out there that integrates with like Konami and all these other apps as well. There doesn't seem to be any exchange that hasn't been attacked, and this is actually missing it. You know, Binance was attacked last year as well. They quickly reacted to one of the problems with the attack, and they gave everyone their money back, and you know they reacted to it in the right way. Obviously, I'm skipping ahead through this whole article, but you know this table alone is quite interesting. Biggest crypto hacks prior to Cryptopia. Now they're talking about Cryptopia losing, you know, in the article that I saw on Monday, they were talking about being about $3 million, which is a lot of money, and it puts a, you know, kind of top 10. That's how significant it is. The one with SafeTrade, that was about $30,000, so that would put it about here, down here. And it just goes to show you, you know, there's a couple of, you know, obviously there's a lot of crap exchanges here, but there's a lot of ones here, Shapeshift, you know, a few others that are, you know, kind of well respected, and they've got a good reputation in the industry. But yeah, this is something that I hate having to read about, you know, keep seeing this in the news. Inside job, the scenario seems unlikely with Cryptopia. Now this is another. This is something else which I'm seeing time and time again. As soon as any exchange is hacked, as soon as anything happens with anything negative, any exchange, any attack, any project that's been attacked or DDoS, 51% spend attack or whatever, one of the first things that so many people on social media and Discord say is it's an exit scam. It's an inside job. There are people... I'm not even going to answer that, Hugh. You were trolling me the other day with that kind of stuff. I've already spoke about all that. We saw this in the, I mean, this kind of illustrates my point, what Hugh's saying there. We saw this on the Discord last week on SafeCoin as well, where people were saying, you know, oh, it's an exit scam. There was absolutely no indication that it was to anyone outside of the team. You know, in the case of SafeCoin, it's one of the most public teams out there. And it's the same with Cryptopia. Cryptopia goes to exchanges. They're registered in New Zealand. They've got the New Zealand police involved. Now, I'm not ruling out the small possibility that there is some sort of inside job and all that, but I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. Considered a legitimate business run by two respected tech entrepreneurs. Yeah, I don't think it is. And this is coming from someone that doesn't like Cryptopia as an exchange. I've never been a fan of it. It lists a lot of crap coins. My time, you know, I did a little bit of trading there and it was very bad. Withdrawals were slow. Support was non-existent. I'm not a fan of their exchange, but I don't think they're a scam company either. And I think that in this situation, I don't think it was an exit scam by Cryptopia or an inside job or anything like that. I don't believe so anyway. A rogue, current or past Cryptopia employee, I guess that is more likely than, you know, the CEO or anything like that being involved. But still, you know, if they've set it up correctly as far as the sensitive information only being held by the people at the top of the company, then I don't think that, I don't think so anyway. I mean, I don't know enough about the actual attack yet to comment on it, but this does seem to be like the default response by so many people on social media. It's an inside job, it's an exit scam. The problem that I have with people saying it's an inside job or it's an exit scam is that most of the time that claim is made without any other information. Now, I'll give you an example of what is obviously an exit scam, because I've witnessed and I've covered quite a lot of them this year, is that when there's an exit scam, well, you don't hear from the staff, you don't hear from the owner, there's no responses. Quite frequently, the Discord and the website and everything else is just shut down, and they simply ghost you. It's like someone ghosting an ex-girlfriend. They just eliminate that person from their life, and it's kind of like that with a lot of these exit scams. Now, I realise that some people might do it a different way. They might try and keep up the charade that the company's still legit whilst they're moving money around. But I would say that most of the exit scams that I've saw and that I've read reports on and, you know, looked at news articles over the last year, most of the ones that I saw, what they do is the guy just, you know, the owner, male or female, just disappears, absolutely disappears from the face of the earth, and they just, you know, go away. Now, what's also common about these ones, and I saw this with the Exfo scam, is that you don't know anything about them. They're not a registered company. They're not a registered company. They're not, you know, they're not public. You don't know who the person is. They're not doing video interviews or written, you know, any type of PR. They are not doing any type of PR. So that's why when people started saying Cryptopia is an inside job, it's an exit scam and all that, it just didn't seem to add up, because they've got a very public team, they're a registered company, and they've went to the New Zealand police and all that. So, yeah, I don't think it is. Could be wrong. You know, there's always that chance. There is, of course, always that chance, but I don't believe that is the case with Cryptopia. But it is a very bad hack. It is a very bad hack. Hey, Paul. As far as announcements go, you're going to have to check the... in fact, I'll show you just now. It's easier to just show you. Basically, if you want any information about what happened on Safecoin, just check the Discord. The Discord group has got all the information as far as what's the latest, as far as, you know, everything that's happening there. Okay, let me see. Is this going to load up? Is this going to load up? Come up. Discord, you slow ass mother. Right, come on, open up. I don't know why it's so slow there. I'll refresh that. Is it going to show me some love? Very slow in the browser. I don't know why. But yeah, as far as announcements go, there hasn't been any update as far as official announcements since I last spoke about it on Tuesday. Got to admit, did you lose any money, Paul? Well, just to clarify, Paul, I never bigged up SafeTrade at any point. I mentioned that I was involved in the project. I never bigged it up. I never told people at any point to actively go there and use it. You can go back to my videos and say that, you know, it's an exchange I use, but it's not like I was telling people, you know, to go out there and use it. That being said, no exchange is ever safe. I mean, this is what we were talking about the other day. How much did you lose then, Paul? You're going to get all your money back. Just, you know, you'll know that from the last official announcement. All funds are being returned. That's what the official announcement was the other day. Everyone is getting their money back. Is it safe to go on SafeTrade now? Well, the exchange is back online. There are people trading. I've not been trading on it, but there are people trading on it. As far as it being exchanged, why is Discord not loading up? So you can see there's the SafeTrade exchange. They've been working on the kind of design of things like that, but there's a lot of things happening in the background as well. You can see that the people are trading there. But I would check the Safecoin Discord. Just keep checking the announcements thing, which I'm trying to show you here, but Discord will not load up the Safecoin Discord for some reason in the browser. I don't know why it is not showing me. Right. I can't show you the announcements, unfortunately. I showed you it the other day. And in fact, what I can show you the announcements, and I'll show you very, very briefly. If I can do this. Come on. So, if you go to the Safecoin, go to the announcements and you can see it there. This is a preview from my monitor, so you can see the big announcement there. So that's the big announcement. Go to the Safecoin Discord for that, which you can get the Discord link on the Safecoin website, safecoin.org. Right, I'm a little bit behind on the comments. Big tweak, any exchange can be hit at any time. Once Safe Trade comes back up, it's going to be even safer. Komodo hacking now, that's just unacceptable, really. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say to that, Paul? I really don't know. Tell me which project hasn't been attacked over the last year. Or hasn't, you know what I mean? One of the projects I've always said I've always been a big fan of is Horizon, Zencash. They got a double spend attack last year. People lost, exchanges lost money from that. There's very few projects that aren't being attacked, and the bigger that you get, the more the more you're going to be attacked. Just unacceptable, really. Paul, I think you're in the wrong game. Then I don't think this is cryptocurrency. This is the start of the cryptocurrency journey. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what you want me to say to that. Do you know what I mean? You're talking about an attack that happened last April when the project was not even officially launched yet. It was like in its infancy, and it started being attacked by, you wouldn't have think it would have happened, but it was being attacked by the project it forked from, people who had very good knowledge about the code base. Yeah. What projects do you follow, Paul? Because I have no doubt that some of the projects that you follow have been attacked as well, or something's happened. I'm not trying to defend what's happened with Safecoin and all that. Do you think it could be Komodo again? I don't think. Well, I wouldn't rule it out, but I don't know enough about the attack to know what happened. I really don't know enough about the attack to know what's happened as far as how it actually happened. I don't know. They're still investigating what happened, and they're still investigating, how it could have happened and how they, make it more secure, etc. I don't know enough about it to comment. I'm not a coder anyway. I'm not a technical guy in that respect either, so I don't know how technical it is and if it was an easy fix or. You have to remember as well. excuse me. You have to remember as well that this was an attack on the exchange and not the Safecoin chain. And it's very important to notice that distinction. There's two separate things. Are you still endorsing the Safe Trade platform? Here's the thing. What I will say, Paul, is I have never been like an official ambassador of Safe Trade. I've never, you said earlier, I bigged up Safe Trade. I haven't did that. I disagree with that. I've never bigged up Safe Trade. I've covered Safe Trade on my channel. I've covered Safe Trade because I know Jeff, I know everyone in the team, and I know how hard they're all working, and I know how honest the team is, and how hard they're working on the project. Personally, I feel safe trading there despite this attack, but that's because, I've shared a room with Jeff. I know him personally. I've met most of the team, and I got on with most of the team, and I respect them, both professionally and, as just as human beings. All the people I met from the Safecoin team was just really good guys, and they're all, I talk to them every week in the team meetings, and they're very honest guys, very hard-working guys, and very knowledgeable guys, more knowledgeable than me on most subjects, if I'm honest. I've never did any official endorsement of any exchange other than me saying I like Nano S, I like SafeTrade, I like Binance, I quite like Coinbase as well. Should you go out and use those exchanges? Listen, that is up to you. That is up to you. If a project I talk about, if an exchange that I talk about ever gets attacked, well, what do you want me to do? This is cryptocurrency. There's attacks going on all the time. There's always going to be something, like a project I talk about, or a coin, or an exchange, or something that I talk about. It could be attacked. There could be a company that gives you bad customer service. Listen, what do you expect from me in that end? Do you know what I mean? As far as whether I'm endorsing it, what I can do is, yes, I'm going to continue using the platform. I will continue trading there. I respect the team. I like the team. I'm confident that the platform is going to be more secure than ever before. But if you want a 100% money back guarantee that nothing would ever happen again, I can't even give you that for Binance or Coinbase or any other platform. And I think, you know, those platforms are established and they're more secure because they're bigger teams and all that as well. How much did you lose, if you don't mind me asking? Was it Safecoin you lost, or was it, which, well, you won't have lost that, but was it Bitcoin you lost? I'm not saying that, you know, it's irrelevant if you've not lost a certain amount of money. Where's my water? Where's my water? I've had this kind of thing before, Paul, as far as people misinterpreting me talking about a subject, or me liking a particular platform or project as if I am, you know, it's somehow my fault if something ever goes wrong. I'm not someone that ever shills coins or projects or services, and when I have you know, been sponsored to do a review or anything, I've given you my honest opinion, but also said, do your own research. Do your own research. It's crypto, man. It's crypto. But I'm sorry you lost money, mate. It's not something. It's not something that anyone should have to go through. I've lost money myself through. I mean, I lost money on Mining Pool Hub, and I lost some money on some other not exchanges, mining pools as well, where they didn't pay me correctly and all that as well. So I know the feeling of losing money, and it's not good. Obviously, you shouldn't have any money in any platform that, you know, money that you can't afford to lose. Right. I'm somehow losing my voice here. I'm losing my voice here, and I don't know why. Right. There was a few graphics cards. I saw some news about some graphics cards yesterday that I want to talk about. Before I do, Paul's saying it's a brutal environment now. It's always been a brutal environment though, Paul. This is the thing. It's always been a brutal environment. It really has. And what I think a lot of people don't realise is that a lot of this goes on all the time and you just don't know about it. That's something I will say. I don't know why I'm losing my voice here. Can I get the hiccups or something? Now, this goes on a lot, and you know, I say this a lot because I read cryptocurrency news a lot. But what I will say is there are a lot of projects that haven't been transparent up front, and things were happening in the background. Now, this was a problem I saw with the Bitcoin private team, where there was like multiple occasions last year when there was something happening, and it happened in the background, and they didn't tell anyone, and they were trying to fix it in the background. For example, the 3 million coins extra, there was funds going missing, and then they had to find out who took the money. It turns out it was a developer who took the money and all that. And basically, there was all these things going on in the background, but they weren't being transparent about it until they get caught. And that's one thing I will say about Safecoin and even other projects like Horizon and Bitcoin Z and all these other projects. They've always been transparent. Right or wrong, good or bad, they've been honest about what's happened. And you're saying it's a brutal environment now, but this is, you know, this has been going on for years. If you know, you look at the article I was talking about there, I'll find the article again about the heist. Now, as I said, this is if I can find this link for you guys. So I was talking about this before. And this is, I mean, this isn't the full list, but this is just a list of some of the biggest hacks over the last few years. And Cryptopia is going to be sitting just under this one here, about $3 million, if official reports are correct. Safecoin will be down here about $30,000. But there are a lot of, you know, popular services. Shapeshift lost $201,000. Binance has been attacked and it's not listed here. Coinbase probably deals with attacks all the time. Probably just doesn't report it. And there's definitely a lot of attacks that aren't listed here. I reckon this is just, you know, they're saying this is the top one. I'm not sure where they're pulling this from. I wouldn't believe that, Paul. Hugh posted this in the live stream. I don't know why you're just trying to troll people, Hugh, saying it's been infiltrated by the NSA. It doesn't even make any sense. So yeah, so as far as it being brutal now, if you go back to like last June, I think it was, in the space of a few days, Bitcoin, Gold, and Horizon got double spend attacks, and you know, over 51%. Someone made away with a lot of money, and there was the Exo scam. There was another scam. I think Polynex lost money as well. There was a lot of other attacks going on. So this isn't new. That there are attacks on exchanges all the time. Go back to the Nice Hash hack as well, about a year and a half ago as well. This goes on all the time, and it's a reminder that you have to be sensible with your money. Big Tweak, it's a great time to have investments in crypto. Just need to do your research and pick your favorite projects. It's not a good time to leave money on exchanges just waiting for a good deal. The most vulnerable place to leave your crypto is on an exchange, as they are centralized. They are a centralized component in crypto, not always vulnerable for an attack. Yeah, and you shouldn't keep, to be honest, you shouldn't keep any money on an exchange unless you are planning on selling. You really shouldn't keep it there. You should keep it in your wallet and then send it back there when you're looking to trade. There's no reason to keep your money on an exchange. It's lazy. You should send it back to your wallet. Send it back to a hardware wallet, ideally. Keep it in your hardware wallet and don't have it online. Keep it offline. Keep it in a hardware wallet. Keep it in a safe. Keep it in somewhere where no one knows where it is. You got to look after your money. And not that I don't appreciate, you know, the situation that a lot of people are finding themselves in. How come Bitcoin has never had any issues as far as I'm aware of? Do you think Bitcoin has never had any issues? Bitcoin has been attacked more than any other coin. Look at this table. February 14, what do you think? It was Bitcoin. Now, that's the thing. You know, you're saying, I mean, this is what I was saying before. It's important to realize that the Safecoin chain was not attacked. It was the Safe Trade Exchange. And by that same rationale, MTGOX, that wasn't an exchange, an attack on the Bitcoin chain. It was an exchange, but Bitcoin was stolen. We've seen attacks for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the coin that most of the time is the one that's been attacked. Not the exchange, the actual coin. Yeah, there's been lots of attacks on. I mean, I don't know if this is something that someone else has. What you need to what you need to remember is Bitcoin is like 10 years old now. If you go back to the first 3, 4, 5 years of the project, I mean, Bitcoin is still being attacked, but you know, back in the early days, it was, you know, I don't have documentation on it, but there's a lot of articles out there that list all the different problems that were going on for the first few years of the project, as far as attacks, as far as all these other things. I'm not claiming to be an expert on Bitcoin. I couldn't tell you how many rollbacks they did or how they tackled a lot of these things, but to say that Bitcoin has never had any issues is just wrong. Every single coin has had issues. Every single project out there. Every single one. There is no project that comes out there that's 100% secure, and no such thing does exist. Hugh's in his own little dreamland here. There's a story that Bitcoin was a rogue creation of AI. Oh my god. Right. Right. So I want to talk about graphics cards, just because I came across some articles about some graphics cards. So this is the Sapphire Radeon RX 570, 16 gigabyte. That is a huge amount of RAM for an RX 570. Sapphire has a new graphics card on the way based on the Radeon RX 570 design. This new graphics card will have a hefty 16 gigabytes of GDDR5 RAM. That's going to be a crypto mining powerhouse. Because 570, you know, it was below the 580 and all the Vega cards. The design of the Sapphire Radeon RX 570, especially its huge memory portion, is going to be of great value in early Grin mining, explains Medium. First to compute, right? So this is the thing. I've seen a lot of these graphics cards that are coming out, and they're being designed for Grin. So I want to talk about the Grin project. I don't know enough about the Grin project, But the fact that this is coming out with 16 gigabyte of RAM is kind of a surprise, considering that this is a lower end card. But look at this one, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1660 Ti. Look at this. So specs wise, 6 gigabyte of GDDR6, 1536 CUDA cores. Kind of bizarre. So this isn't the RTX, this isn't the RTX range. This is the GTX range, which kind of last generation. I was surprised to see this. So it's not as powerful as a 2060. It's I'm kind of surprised by this. I think it'll make more sense when I see the price of this card. Does it say the price? We priced. It'll be interesting to see how the supposed card will be priced. Right, I was going to say, yeah, I didn't know the price of this. You know what? If it's got the 2060, it's saying here at $349, about £300 in the UK. If that comes out, I mean, what would that have to come out at? It's not going to support the ray tracing and all that for games. So, what's it going to be? $250 or something? It's going to be at least $100 cheaper. That could be a good budget card though, for 1080p gaming. Could be a good budget card, or even just for basic video editing. I don't know. But it's interesting that a lot of people are talking about these cards as being designed for this new Grin project, which is this. This is what everyone's been talking about. I can't believe the amount of exposure this has got. I'll check the coin market cap listing for this, because I found it interesting that the price of this coin, someone paid a few $100s, but they're obviously trying to set a marker. I don't know where it's sitting now. Let's see if I can find this. No, it's not on. No, where did I see the listing for this? This was listed on exchange, and someone had the price history of it. I don't know where they got it from. I'll need to find that. Going back to what Big Tweak said there, Bitcoin is less susceptible. That's hard to say after taking a drink of water. Less susceptible to a 51% attack because the cost of gaining 51% of the hash power is costly. Now, this is the thing. 100% correct. And this was a major point of discussion last year when we were talking about ASIC mining. And this leads me on to the next subject. I'll go back to Grin, but this leads me on to the next subject, which is Bitmain. Good old Bitmain. Now, anytime anyone talked about ASIC mining last year, everyone talked about, we hate Bitmain, we don't like them, they're a bad company and all this. One of the major concerns was that they had too much influence and they had too much hash power in their pools. Not only that, they were mining in the background themselves before releasing products. And there was talk about how they could do a 51% attack if they wanted to. This was something they could have done. And this was something that was a hot topic last year, as far as, whenever an ASIC miner come out, they talked about they've got too much influence in the industry. And it's one of those things, there's a lot of different ASIC mining companies out there, but whenever you see their hash rate and the cost of their ASIC miners, they all tend to be 50 to 100% more expensive than the Bitmain equivalent. The reason I wanted to talk about Bitmain is because I've seen lots of people tweeting about how they've actually removed all their alt mining coins, all their alt miners. So, look at this. Now, anyone who has ever looked at the Bitmain website will know that there is normally dozens more ant miners listed on this page, dozens more. They have removed a hell of a lot of products from their page. So they've scaled down a lot of products, or they've simply removed a lot of the other ones that aren't there, that aren't being sold anymore. Look, where's the Z9 Mini? Where's the Z9? All these things, they're not being listed there now. So I thought this was quite interesting. So if you look down here, new miners, the T15, you've got your Bitcoin miners, you've got your Blake miner, and that's it. So this, I saw some people talking about this, and Bitmain, this is major news. They have removed a significant number of miners. Now, I mean, I haven't really delved into this subject too deep yet as far as doing research about this on my own. But my first question about this would be, how are projects going to be affected by this? Because, you know, people are still on the remaining Equihash 192 algorithms, such as Horizon. That means that you can't buy ASIC miners for their algorithm anymore. How is that going to affect their project? Anyone who follows Horizon know that? But that's quite significant. And I do realise there are some Equihash miners being released by other companies, so, you know, they're still out there. Am I joining ASIC mining? No, I'm not. I'm not. I actually covered this the other day, and I'll show you why I'm not joining ASIC mining. And it's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple reason. And the reason is, I would make absolutely no money by doing it. It's simply not profitable for me. I mean, look at the Z9. As I said, this is not being sold by Bitmain, but when it was still sitting in the Bitmain website, when I could still buy it, the Z9 was, what was it, like $3,000, $4,000, something like that. What was it, 3,000 or so? And it's making less than $1 per day. So that means I've got like 3,000 days to break even on the Z9, which isn't there anymore. But it kind of highlights the problem that anyone in the UK has got right now in the current climate. You know, mining profits for GPUs, for ASICs, for everyone, it's a way down. And this is going to hit the whole industry hard. You're only going to be able to make money from mining right now if you've got very, very low electricity rates. Hey, Christopher, welcome to the stream. Hugh's went down the rabbit hole. I think he's sitting there smoking some wacky backy. Best energy supplier in the UK is Bulb. Bulb. You're not going to get disagreements with me. I'm with them. I'm with Bulb. I'm with Bulb. And where's my... Look at that bill earlier on when I was doing my mining. Over £1,000 for the electricity bill. That was not a fun month. Depending on how cold it gets, I adjust the voltage on my GPUs in my family room. Not kidding, using them as heaters. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to use GPUs for heaters and the cost of running those GPUs is cheaper than running an actual heater, then fine. But it is worth noting though, unless you've got a lot of GPUs, yeah, GPUs fire a lot of hot air out there, but not as much as you would think, you know. It's kind of exponential. I remember when I had 30 GPUs, it was like a furnace, but when I scaled down to 20, it was a lot cooler. Not just like 30%, 40% cooler. It was like more than half. You know, it's kind of, it grows exponentially because the hot air doesn't have anywhere to go. Hola, Mika. ¿Cómo estás? Yeah. So I think going back to what I was saying about Bitmain is quite, I think this is quite significant. I don't know if this has been under the radar or maybe everyone has been talking about this, but the fact that Bitmain are not actively selling these is quite surprising. I haven't seen any official statement about this as yet. In saying that, have I checked the blog? I don't think I did. Let's see if there's anything in the blog. Let's go down the Bitmain rabbit hole. Hey, Ronis. Good morning. Yeah, I think sometimes YouTube can be quite slow at sending people notifications. So no official announcement from Bitmain about pulling most of their ant miners. Don't get me wrong though, you know, I'm not saying that this is necessarily a bad thing. You know, I'm curious as to how certain projects are going to be affected by this if people can't buy ant miners, if they can't buy ASIC miners for the project. But let's not lie about it. You know, they were obviously selling a lot of miners. They were selling a lot of ASIC miners which were not profitable anymore. They simply weren't profitable. Now, again, I don't know. Maybe this is their reaction to the market right now. Maybe they've pulled the miners for certain algorithms because they know that they're not profitable and they won't sell them. Maybe they've got them sitting in a storeroom gathering dust, and maybe you know, when the climate goes, you know, back up, when the market picks back up, maybe they'll just unleash all these dusty ASIC miners again. I'm not sure. I've got absolutely no idea. But I think it's quite interesting that they've scaled down, because it looks like they're selling about maybe like 20% of the Ant miners. You know, they've still got all the Bitcoin miners, but it seems like they've removed most of the products from the store. 21 graphics cards in his bedroom in Glasgow. It's freezing outside and my window's wide open. That's exactly what I was doing last year. I had to keep the window open and I had no heating on. It is cold. It is cold in the UK. Very cold, unfortunately. Hey, Martin. So let's go back down the rabbit hole. What's this? Yeah, see this? Polynex, right? So I saw some people talking about this, but they sent a message on Twitter saying that the exchange is back online. So people were scared that it was another hack, but I don't think it was. Gibraltar now has 5 licensed cryptocurrency exchanges. Absolutely no surprise here. I mean, I've seen this all in the past as well, when it came to where poker companies established themselves, and it was all, you know, it was the usual suspects: Malta, Gibraltar, Barbados, all these type of places. And yeah, the fact that they've got 5 there is no surprise. I mean, it says that they've got 5 licensed cryptocurrency exchanges. They might not actually be based there. It could be a you know, a tiny office just with a name. Or it could be a mailbox. It could simply be a mailbox and they all work remotely. I don't know. No surprise though that Gibraltar is doing that. They've always made money in that kind of way as far as banking and that goes as well. Does anyone know much about that Grin project? I'd like to know more about it. I know I kind of explored it a little bit the other day, but I'd like to know more about it from people that actually know about the project. What else have we got here? More than 1.5 billion has been stolen from exchanges. Okay, let's go down this rabbit hole. So yeah, this is maybe where that other person got the. I'm going to stay ignorant. Okay, that's a really bad article. Yeah. Okay. Why is that even being listed? People, this is the problem that I have with a lot of things with Reddit. People will just link to anything, especially if it's their website. Polynex maintenance, yeah. Yeah, they've still got all their SHA-256 miners. The big surprise though is that all their altcoin miners appear, and you know, apart from Blake, what do you call that algorithm? Blake 14R. So the Blake 14R one is still there. We'll see which one that's actually called. The DR5. So the DR5 is there. That one is still there, but everything else is gone. What's I see? New Year early. See, I saw that as well. They seem to be pushing this like you know, HashPower, buying HashPower. Seems to be their official service for that. As what, you know, as far as services like this go, I always disregarded these kind of services in the past because I'd prefer to, you know, mine with my own equipment. But given the cost of electricity in the UK, that, you know, this is maybe something I'd maybe look into in the future. But again, buy the coins directly. Save a lot of hassle. I don't know. Hey Michael, welcome to the stream, mate. It's been a bit quiet today actually compared to normal. Normally get a little bit more activity. Guess companies aren't sponsoring crypto YouTubers now. Well, I've never had an active sponsor anyway, so I wouldn't know about that. But as far as activity goes, you know, on YouTube and all that, yeah, I think for most people that are doing cryptocurrency, the views will be down, traffic will be down, money will be down, everything will be down, because I mean, it kind of makes sense. When it's a bull run, everyone's trying to make money from crypto. Everyone's watching videos about where to put the money for crypto. And when you're in a bear market, people aren't doing that, so people are watching less videos about it. And then you've got people like me, you know, still doing live streams and still talking about it. But in comparison to a year, for example, a year ago, I probably would have got more viewers right now, simply because, you know, more people are searching for it. You can actually, you can see this very easily. If you look at something like Google Trends and you follow the price of Bitcoin, and then you follow the searches for Bitcoin, they do kind of correlate each other. So when the price of Bitcoin goes up, more people are searching for it, and vice versa. What are your thoughts on the masternode change with X Galaxy? I've never heard of that, Michael. What is that? Is that a new project? Anything else I've missed that's happened this week in the crazy world of cryptocurrency? Anything I have missed? Do a video on what to mine in a bear market. Well, this is the thing, Ronis. This is something that I was conscious about when I scaled down my operation, because I simply couldn't continue mining, because, you know, I'd be losing a lot of money from it. But you know, my channel used to focus a lot on mining. It's something I used to always, you know, put a lot of focus into, and it's something that it's harder to do videos about mining when you're not mining yourself. You know, as far as, you know, before I was doing research on it anyway for myself, and then I just cover it. But yeah, I'm not sure what the best thing to mine is right now. I don't think there's anything that I could actually mine myself that would be profitable. I've still got a graphics card, so I guess I could use the one on my main PC, but I can't think of anything that people are mining. I know that people are talking about the Grin coin. That's the big thing this week. Grin coin. So I'm just searching for that X Galaxy. Big tweet. One thing concerned as Bitcoin drops, many miners go offline. This gives some large miners the opportunity to orchestrate a 51% attack. Fortunately, most of them don't get along. That's very true. Well, we kind of saw that with the Bitcoin Cash thing. That was one of the most interesting things I've seen over the last few years, as far as, you know, pools abusing their power. They were abusing their power. I can't talk. They were abusing their power, and I saw that with one of the Bitcoin pools. They just redirected all their hash power to Bitcoin Cash without, you know, I did a video about it, as you would expect. But people, the pools were redirecting hash power from Bitcoin to Bitcoin Cash to support the project they wanted to. You're right though. If they all got along, it could have been a different situation. Am I going to DrupalCon? No. I haven't used Drupal for like 15 years or whenever it was launched. I tried it when it first came out, but I'm a WordPress guy. It's a new mineable project. Right. So, what's going on with Ethereum on the progressive proof of work? I don't know actually. I followed what was happening a little bit when they were talking about it a few months ago, but I haven't been following it. And again, this kind of what I was saying before to Ronis, is that because, you know, before I was mining Ethereum, but when you're not mining it, you're not reading news about it, you're not following developments as much. But yeah, I don't know what's been happening with it. Has it been implemented yet, or what's happening? What's happening with the fork? I need to read more about it. Right, so this is X Galaxy. Right, I'm going to add this to the description just so that we don't lose this. I'll add this to the bottom of the discussion, just so that we know what the hell was going on. So there's the website. That's the website that we'll be looking at. So let's get a summary here. Right, XGCS coins on Escodex markets. Is this a brand new coin? I always wonder why is the focus on getting on an exchange when it's, you know, the project is like, oh, in fact, that's different. Right, this one's been there since July. Right, okay, disregard that statement. Right, so here we go. So this was back in July. It's a cryptocurrency based on proof of work and masternodes, which is built using the ASIC resistant X16R. But X16R isn't. Have they changed the algorithm with that? Because it's that was the one that was the Raven algorithm. Was that not being attacked by FPGAs? Well, not attacked, but it was being mined by FPGAs. I don't know. So yeah, that seems. I don't know if this is outdated because this is from months ago. So let's jump to the website. They changed the masternode requirement to 20,000. Right, okay. I'll take a link to that. I'll check out that article as well. I'll check that out in a second. Right. Fast, secure, and private transactions. Right. So, nice website. We offer a cryptocurrency and a binary options platform to reward investors, traders, miners, and masternode holders. Okay. Everything you need to know. Hey, this is good. This is good. I like when they actually do this and they give you a summary. X16R algorithm, proof of work, masternodes, 50 million total supply, approximately 11 years till you reach the max supply. Block time, every minute someone gets block reward range 0.1 to 10. I guess that depends on the schedule. Coin maturity at block 75. Starts after block 50. I never like when the masternodes are so early. That's one thing I don't like, but I guess it's built into their whole system. Distribution fees, right. So it's 20%. All right, masternode requirement is 20,000. So 40% miners, 55% masternodes, 5% dev fee. I actually quite like seeing a dev fee now in coins. I do like that because when they don't have a developer fee, I always think, well, what's going to happen? If you must have a pre-mine or a dev fee or something so that developers have an incentive. 20,000 masternode, right? Oh, right, okay. So the masternode collateral went up and up and up. More than 70 cryptocurrencies in their cross rates. I'm quite impressed by the website. It looks quite good. See if I can find the. Do they have a white paper or is it just roadmap? They don't have a white paper, do they? There is no white paper. I don't think there is there? Nope. Binary options. Again, first impressions. This is me just looking at the website and just having a look at it. Looks like a nice website and all that, but there's no white paper, and I'm not 100% sure what it's all about yet. But yeah, I'm just taking what I can from the website. There's not a ton of information there when you actually go through it all. To go back to the article that Ronus shared, thanks for sharing that, Ronus. Our NPC was asking about Ethereum, and this article was published yesterday, and it says, okay, Ethereum postponed its hard fork, but some miners didn't listen. Ah, right, okay. Not everyone made the appropriate changes, and there's currently a parallel universe of Ethereum mining. A chain split has occurred. That's always the risk when you do a fork, when people continue, if a pool or something doesn't update, you've always got people mining to the wrong chain. So non-constant fuel, constant fuel. So who's been mining to what? Has it got a split? Hash rate. There definitely seems to be a split between the hash rate. So how's this affecting it? Non-zero risk. Update to stop the upgrade. This is something that I think all cryptocurrencies struggle with as far as updates go, because when there is a major change, like a major security change, or there's a fork coming or a rollback or something, you need everyone to abide by what the project developers are doing, whether it be a rollback, a fork, security update or whatever. And you need all the pools to work with you, and you need to have a close relationship with them and say, right, this is what we're going to do. Can you update your code? But what happens if a couple of the bigger pools says, no, we don't want to, we don't want to do this, or we don't have the time to do this? Then this is when you can get chain forks and splits, and you can get other problems, security issues as well. It can be quite difficult. Maker Garage, does anyone think that Bitcoin private will pump hard when the rebase finally happens? I don't even check the price of that anymore. Michael Oates is saying about X Galaxy, the next stage was going to be 5,000, but then it was changed to 20,000 because of an issue with the stages and the cost. What's the price of the coin currently? What's it sitting at? Major CEOs think the same. As far as where the market is going, I always take the general consensus from from news. As far as are we going to see the market pump? Are we going to see the market dump and all that? If you look hard enough, you can always find one news website or one CEO or one person in the industry that supports what you want to happen, whether it be a pump or a dump or whatever. I think the reality is that no one knows what's going to happen in the future. They were talking about how early 2019 is when Bitcoin would keep going up because of the announcements in America and all that, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's too early, I think, to know what's going to happen. The end of 2019, late 2019, a year is a long time. 11 months, 12 months. It's a long time in crypto. Things change very quickly, and yeah. I mean, if you go back and look at how quickly we entered the bull run in 2017, the market was picking up a little bit and then it just shot up like crazy. And I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but things can change quickly. They can change quickly. I'm going to clear some of these tabs here. Get myself some room here. So I'm going to check crypto. Right, see if I can find. See another one. So what I'm going to do is, I was talking about this briefly before. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have ever used this. I used to use this a lot for research for articles and stuff like that. It can be quite useful for searching for what's relevant and all that. But if you search for Bitcoin, you can see the progress of it. And so this is going to show you the progress of it over the last 12 months. Maybe we can extend that. Nah, 5 years is too long. Let's see. If I just leave it there just now. Right. So you've got the interest over time for Bitcoin, right? And this goes back to what I was saying, where the correlation between people searching for Bitcoin and people and the price of Bitcoin going up and down over time. It does follow it more or less, not all the time, but it does kind of more or less follow it. And I was kind of touch upon this because someone was asking, someone mentioned about sponsors on YouTube, and it's the same thing. People searching for cryptocurrency YouTube videos or searching for news or searching for whatever, it will correlate to what's happening in the mining world and the price of Bitcoin, the price of any coin really. But you can see, a year ago, 2018, with the bull run that we were in, everyone was searching for Bitcoin. Everyone was wanting to get involved, and over time it kind of fizzled out. But that's the United States. If we do worldwide, it's identical. I was trying to show an example where it may be a little bit different. That didn't work. Like, think of an example. Venezuela, or in fact Turkey. Maybe Turkey will be different. Let's see what it's like in Turkey. Very similar. Very similar. Iran. There must be one here that's going to be different, unless it's just showing the exact same graph every time. Ah, okay. So this is interesting. So you saw the graph with Bitcoin over time. This is Iran's one, where at the start, yes, it was high and went down, but look at the interest peaking up here in October. And again, it goes back to what I was saying, where, you know, political and governments and, you know, what's happening as far as financial situations within countries in Iran and Turkey and Venezuela and all that. It's quite interesting because a few months ago there was lots of reports where when Bitcoin was sitting at $8,000, there was people in Iran trading within the country and buying Bitcoin for like $20,000 each. It was kind of like a micro economy for it. It was very, very different to what you saw elsewhere in the world. I'm not sure if it'd be the same for Venezuela. How the hell did I spell? Oh, there it's there. I put in the U there for some reason. No, Venezuela hasn't changed that much. It is interesting to see that though, because you'll find, you know, I'm using Bitcoin here as an example, but you can obviously do that for any coin, any project, and you can see the interest spiking up or down. And it's not always a direct correlation, but it's interesting to see how trends change over time and you know, what spikes things up and down. So this is how, when you see news and you see people talking about the market's definitely going to do this or that, I always take these things with a pinch of salt. You really don't know what's going to happen. Ethereum Classic got hacked. I didn't read that. I'll need to check that out. I'll see if I can find that. Ethereum Classic, right? See if I can find this. ETC hack. It's saying here, was that today or the news is coming up? It was a couple of weeks ago, a week or two ago. Is that the one you're referring to? Double spend attack, right? Okay. Yeah, it was 9th of January. This has come up as. You're saying many people feel burned by crypto. It will be a very long time until we see mass adoption like it before. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that, right? And the reason why, Hugh, is because you're basing that off the fact that many people got involved a year ago at the height of a bull run. And this is, you know, most people do get involved when the market is good and everyone's talking about it and everyone's talking about how much money they're making, etc. So that makes sense that more people come in at that point. But you have to remember that some people get involved in cryptocurrency in a bear market. And if you're in a bear market and you get involved at a lower price point, then you're not going to feel this, you're not going to feel burned out as other people did. I think a lot of people feel burned is because they perhaps spent more money in crypto than they could have afforded to spend. You know, you should have looked at it like a risky investment, and they might have looked at it, you know, as if it was guaranteed when it wasn't. Obviously a lot of people are burned by it, but as far as mass adoption goes, mass adoption is actually going to come quicker over the next 3 years than it was in the previous 3 years, because we're seeing all these major developments in technology. I mean, I was talking about it earlier with Coinbase now allows you to withdraw money to PayPal. And you go back a year ago when PayPal were talking about cancelling accounts and not allowing anyone to do anything with crypto via their PayPal account. This is a significant announcement, and we're seeing announcements like this all the time. We're seeing Sony developing their own crypto phone. Samsung are doing it as well. We're seeing other big companies get involved and create cryptocurrency specific products, and we're seeing other major companies investing in, you know, any kind of crypto project. We're seeing big investment companies trying to do Bitcoin futures as well. So there are a lot of people that have been burned. There are a lot of people that are maybe, you know, they're not keen on cryptocurrency right now, but you need to look at all of this in a perspective. There's a lot of people that just haven't even dipped their feet into crypto yet. The vast majority of people haven't. So I reckon if the market picks up a little bit, I don't think what happened you know, during 2018 or even what happens in 2019 is really going to be significant in any way. We are early adopters. You have to remember this, guys. We are still early adopters in it. And it's hard to think like that because Bitcoin is over 10 years old now, but this is still, you know, we're still in its infancy. This is still very early on in the development of cryptocurrency. And because of that, there's great risks, but great rewards and all that. Hi, Navesh. It's okay. Okay, so the 51% attack. This is the one that NPC was talking about 2 weeks ago. Yeah. After Ethereum Classic suffers 51% attack, experts consider, will Bitcoin be next? It took 24 hours to notice. I keep thinking I've covered this in a live stream before. Maybe I didn't. It took 24 hours to notice, but on the 5th of January, Ethereum Classic, better known as Ethereum's little brother. Well, Ethereum Classic was the original chain, but yep. Hacked using a rare 51% attack. In essence, a single person was able to control around 60% of the mining power, creating a longer blockchain which gave them the ability to double spend, something that was picked up by Coinbase and led to the index and other freezing Ethereum Classic from trading. It's the 18th largest cryptocurrency. Does anyone know how they did it? I'm quite surprised that such a popular chain was 51% attacked because it is a popular project. Art attack carried out by Neil Buchanan. A national treasure. Price doesn't equal adoption. I would agree with that. The way I see it, crypto doesn't offer a better solution to digital fiat currencies. If it's going to be adopted, well, I don't know like why. What is your interest in cryptocurrency, Hugh? I'm genuinely I'm curious as to why you're interested in cryptocurrency despite not believing in it, because you're saying here that it doesn't offer a better solution to digital fiat currencies. Now, granted, I'm not, you know, you can't disregard the fact that we haven't made cryptocurrency safe for people yet, as far as, you know, you go to the average person in the street and you say, well, here's Bitcoin, but you have to remember your public key, this long character, you can't lose that, you lose all your money, or don't put it on exchange, you can lose money, all this kind of thing. It's not user-friendly yet. We need more user-friendly solutions. Might come from, you know, Coinbase or whatever, but we need more user-friendly solutions. But as far as it not offering a better solution, yes, crypto is very, very rough around the edges, but what it's going to do is change the way that we, you know, send money to each other. Change the way that everything works, you know, as far as how projects are funded, how companies are funded, how things are allocated. You know, just going back to what I was saying 2 seconds ago with Coinbase and PayPal, look at the money that PayPal charges for fees. I get killed with PayPal fees every single week. In fees alone, PayPal have probably taken, I don't know, like, it wouldn't surprise me if it's over $30,000 over the years. They've charged me in fees because of the money I generated and because I've been charging clients via PayPal because they all want to pay via PayPal. And yeah, you know, there is an alternative to paying those high fees. I've been screwed with PayPal for years. I've been screwed with sending money. When I was I backpacked for years. I was traveling around the world for years. And I was always getting screwed by bank charges and really screwy international rates when they're transferring it from one company to another. And it's the same bank, and yet they're charging you a $10 fee and then giving you a crap exchange rate. There has to be a better way. And this is where cryptocurrency comes in. So you're saying it doesn't offer a better solution. And I mean, I guess if you're saying an overall solution right now, crypto isn't there. It needs to be refined. It needs to be improved upon. There's a lot of things that need to be figured out. But I do think that crypto is addressing a lot of the problems that we're having with fiat as far as, you know, bullshit charges and that go. Quantify crypto. I feel a lot of people don't understand Bitcoin is I can't even say that. Socio-economic and sort of an ideology. I can't talk. I can't talk today. I'm dehydrated. I think this is why I'm coughing. I'm getting a cold or something. No government, no bank, no sovereignty over money, aka private keys. This is the thing with Bitcoin. you're right. You know, you can't talk about Bitcoin, you can't talk about cryptocurrency without talking about this was born from people's hatred of the banks and the way that governments are manipulating systems. It still goes on today, if not, you know, it's worse today than it was years ago. But for me, even just if you just apply cryptocurrency to today's society and forget about all the political implications and all that, just as a means of transferring money from one person to another, it just seems like a better way of doing things. I believe in what it's trying to do. I really do believe in what it's trying to do. How are people meant to understand pricing, etc.? If I wanted to buy milk, it would cost... You'd use Satoshis. This is what surprises me. A lot of people with cryptocurrency is they assume that, you know, the price is always going to go up and down. If a coin, say Bitcoin was, like, just for argument's sake here, but let's say Bitcoin was the only currency in the world and everyone adopted crypto. It's not going to be, but if it was, the fluctuations in price that we see with Bitcoin and the fact that investors are, you know, can manipulate the market and all that, we wouldn't see that as much. Now, yes, the price is always going to sway a little bit, but it's not going to sway as much as it does, you know, right now. But if you buy something and it's 23 Satoshis for milk, it's still going to be 23 Satoshis the next day. But the value of Bitcoin against gold or silver or, you know, some other commodity will change. And this happens today. This happens today, Hugh. This happens with the pound. This happens with the euro, where the price of a pound goes down. Like, I was in Austria for a conference. I was in Vienna for a conference when the big announcement with Brexit happened, and I lifted money before the announcement and 2 days and like the day after or something like that, and I lost about like £10 on the withdrawal the second day because the price of the pound against the euro went down so much. It dropped, like, you know, it was like 10-15% or whatever. Now, back home in the UK, £1 could still get me the same amount of chocolate bars or milk or bread or whatever. But that value of that pound was less. It was less, like, worldwide, from a worldwide level. The actual value of that pound was less. And this is, people need to understand this, you know, as far as cryptocurrency goes. Fiat currencies are considerably more stable. That's if it's backed by a government. What happens... like, we've just had this discussion where I was talking about Iran. Why do you think everyone in Iran was buying Bitcoin? Why do you think people in Venezuela and Turkey were buying Bitcoin? Do you think that's because they perhaps don't think that the currencies in their country are stable? You know, and what we saw as well is that, you know, the house of cards can quite easily fall down. House of cards can easily fall down, and we saw this in the housing market in the USA. And when it tumbles hard, and it takes everyone with it. Yeah. Yeah, quantify crypto. Fiat currencies price don't stay the same. Relatively speaking, as far as day to day, if you've got a pound coin or a dollar or whatever, the price you see in your hand and the price in the store is probably the same. But inflation and the retail price index and, you know, the value of that currency around the world does change. Thanks, Jonas. Thanks for dropping by, mate. Very good point, Kevin. Anyone... Satoshis, the price of them would be the same around the world. Well, a good example of that would be the euro. You know, the euro, the value of the euro and the price of something you can buy is going to be the same wherever you go. Like if you buy a pint of beer in Dublin in the city centre, you might have to pay €7 or €8. You go to Norway, you might have to pay €10, and then you go to a little bar and a little restaurant in the south of Spain, it's €2. It's the same currency. It's the same currency, but the price is different all over the place. But the value of that currency is the same. It's consistent. So you're still going to see changes in prices within markets. That's not going to change. But as far as, who was it said that no one, yeah, Quantify Crypto says no one knows what will happen. And this is how you know, I'm kind of conscious of the fact that sometimes when I'm talking about this kind of stuff, that it might appear to some people that I'm sitting on the fence, right? You know, I don't want to be like supple man and say, these are the coins to buy. This is what's definitely going to happen in the market. Because let's be honest, we're all just throwing shit at the wall and just hoping some of it will stick, and then we can prove to, you know, everyone, hey, I said that this would happen. I've seen a lot of people on getting called out on Twitter for this. A lot of people that do the trading analysis are getting called out for this, because I'm not going to call out names, but you know, there's a lot of people saying that what they do is they say, well, the market is going to do this, or it's probably going to do this, and then they will come back and say, hey, look, I told you the market was going to do this. Check out my tweet from this point, and then they'll delete the tweets of when they said the market was going to go the other way. I mean, I don't know. Hands on heart, I don't know what way the market is going to go. What I do is follow, you know, what's happening as far as news goes. I look at what's happening in the market, and I try and make decisions based on that. But I'm also acutely aware, having, you know, been reading about cryptocurrency on a regular basis for about a year and a half or whatever, I know that things change very, very quickly, and sometimes, you know, the market goes a completely different direction as to where you think it should go. You know, I've talked about this a lot. There's coins that get hacked and then the price goes up. There's other coins that announce really good, solid partnerships and relationships with other companies, and the price goes down. I can't make sense of it all, and sometimes the market just, you know, it just goes its own way. And then you throw in investors manipulating the market, you throw in hype, trolls, people shelling coins and all these other things. Like, does anyone really know what way the market is going? Because I'll tell you one thing right now, you know, maybe I am sitting on the fence here, but if you go back to July, if you go back to 1 year ago, let me know which YouTuber, let me know anyone from Twitter or social media that told you that the price of Bitcoin was definitely going to go down to $4,000 by the end of the year. No one was saying that. Absolutely no one. Some people might have said, oh, it might drop down to 10. No one was saying that the market was going to go that way. So a lot of these people were sitting here and saying, oh, we're an expert. I knew the market would go this way. They don't know. They don't. I'll happily admit that I don't know where we're going to be at the end of the year. But where I do think we'll be, forgetting about price, is that we're going to start seeing more integrations. We're going to start seeing bigger companies getting involved in cryptocurrency. And we're seeing this all the time. Samsung, Sony, Intel, all these companies are getting involved. And then you'll start seeing investment institutions. You're going to start seeing large tech companies getting involved, Microsoft. When, you know, maybe when we see someone like Amazon or something like that start adopting either their own cryptocurrency or accepting other cryptocurrencies, this could be a catalyst that starts, you know, making it more adopted. Or maybe we need more payment systems. I don't know. Tone Vase kept saying it. Well, that's good. There's always someone out there who does call it, but you get what I'm trying to say though, guys. You know what I mean? Like, I'm certainly not experienced enough to predict what's going to happen in the market. And if I do, I have no doubt that if someone says, you know, if you to ask me every single month, what way is the market going to go? I could give you my honest opinion based on, well, you know, this new thing's coming out, this regulation, Japan could change things. I could read the news and make a prediction. But I'm going to get it right sometimes, and I'm going to get it very wrong sometimes. It doesn't mean that I knew what was going to happen. I mean, there are people in the industry who do know what's happening because they're staying very close to investors and they're monitoring what's happening as far as, I don't know. I mean, I suspect that if you work in a company like Coinbase, the information that you get is going to be the information that I get. When you think about the news, it's filtering down to me. But that being said, these guys still can't predict the future. But the thing is as well, I'm not saying, I mean, these guys could all be experts. All these guys could be right. But what other predictions did these guys make? I mean, I know nothing about these guys. These guys are probably legit. They're probably very experienced and all that. But what other predictions did these guys make? And are they getting called out for the predictions that were wrong? Because it's very easy to go back and say, look, guys, I'm a guru. I said this would happen. I said this would happen. But when did they see it? Did they see it just at the cusp of when it was going down? Or did they predict it when you were in a bull run and saying, well, this isn't sustainable? I know there's a lot of very experienced traders. I know there's a lot of very intelligent people that can monitor graphs and they can see patterns and all that. But, you know, I don't know. I think there's a lot of people that are experienced and they think, you know, they can make very good educated guesses. But then there's other people that can't make good educated guesses and all they want to do is just show you coins or show you projects or whatever. They've been saying it at least a year before. Oh, okay, that's fair enough then. That's fair enough. That's pretty good then. I mean, these guys obviously know what they're talking about. I think people like that, though, I suspect are few and far between as far as what they think will happen. TA is based on probability, right? Here's the thing, you know, I'm not claiming, I'm not an expert on TA. You know, I know I've saw some videos and watched some people explaining what happens with technical analysis, but what I will say is I watched what was happening in December, you know, November, December with the price of Bitcoin going down. And I watched a lot of people in TA trying to explain what was happening and they couldn't. You know, they were saying, well, it's going to go this way and then it went that way. It's going to go this way and it jumps up that way. The problem is what TA does, sometimes it can give you, I know it can give you good indicators, I know that, but what it can also do is give you, you know, the Captain Hindsight arrives in the building. Here's why it did this. Okay, yeah, but now we know why it went this way. I know enough about it to know that some people are quite good at it and other people are just blowing smoke up people's asses. The film is Almanac. Right, Bitcoin, US dollars. Can I go back to all time? There's Bitcoin, US dollars. So this is Quantify Crypto requested this. The price of Bitcoin against the US dollar. So we're sitting at the same price point right now as we were. Where are we here? Here. So about July, August 2017. Nobody can make predictions because FUD news can be completely mess things up. Yeah. Trading View. Yeah, this is Trading View here, just for reference. But the thing is as well, you know, we're looking at this here, like as far as these peaks and troughs, you saw them back here as well. It's maybe not apparent now in comparison, but when, like back here as well, there's peaks and troughs all the time, but you have to kind of zoom in to see them. Click full featured chart. Right. And then click log. Then click log on the bottom. Yep, I've clicked on it. And oh, in fact, I need to go to all as well from the start of time. Now 1 week. Can I go down to 1 week? I've got it 1 day there. 5 days. I'll try 5 days. I don't think it doesn't seem to be a week. Okay. Thanks for that. Right. So this is showing you how it's been over the last 5 days. 1 month works, right? I'll jump to 1 month. CNBC is a counter trade indicator. Hey, see ya. Good to see you, mate. Then just scroll out. TA works because they don't remind people of their missed calls. Only the correct ones. Well, I always think about that as well. I always think I always think that a lot of people remember the ones they called right and they don't remember the ones they called out. I mean, I used to see this when I played poker a lot with you know, I used to play poker in tournaments and all that. And you'd see people going, oh, you know, they'd throw a hissy fit because someone beat them with, you know, it wasn't aces. They beat them with a 7-8 suited or whatever. And they go, I can't believe the guy called that. I can't believe the guy called that. All the way out. As far as going to all, is that what you're talking about? He's going to 1 month and scroll out. I can't scroll anymore. So I used to see this in poker where people, you know, anyone who's played poker before, you've seen this. I can't believe he called that. It was such a bad call. And all they will do for the rest of the night is complain about this one guy making this what they perceive to be a bad call. Whether it was a bad call or not is irrelevant. What the guy didn't remember is all the bad calls he made. All the bad calls, all the cards that he came into the flop with bad cards. He called a hand when he should have. He raised a hand when he should have. He folded a hand when he should have. He forgets about all that, and all he can remember is someone giving him a bad beat. And I do see parallels with this in crypto, where people will say, I told you this would go up. I told you this would go up, and they forget about the times that they were wrong. But it's not about being right, but getting ready for both outcomes. Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, one of the things I've always said as well is that whenever I've made any decision in crypto, I've made bad decisions in crypto, but whenever I've made any decision in crypto, I have made what I believe to be the best decision at that time. So I would look at what happened in the past with similar projects, or I would say, well, you know, they've just announced this news, the price could go up, or I'm going to sell because the team hasn't been posting a lot of announcements. Whatever you're basing your decision on, as far as, whether you're right or wrong. But at that time, when you make that decision, you're looking at lots of different things. You're not just punting. You're making a conscious decision because of ABC. But later on, after it, and the price goes down or whatever, well, now you find out, you know, D, E, F, and all these other things that you didn't find out before. You know, there's so much news, it's so hard to follow everything. And that's all you can do, is try and look at every situation and try to, you know, make an informed decision. But even when you've got all the information in the world, you don't have all the information in the world, because you're looking at the market, you're looking at news, you're looking at discussions on Discord or Telegram or whatever, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes in a project or in a company. So, I don't know. Right, where am I? TA works in crypto because it's nearly all speculation. If Tonevase was so good at predictions, they wouldn't have to spend so much time shilling poker games, classes, restaurants, clothing. Very good advice there from DE7. Sometimes you pay for mistakes, but if you learn from them, it can be invaluable for the future. Very good point. It doesn't trade Bitcoin through Max. Not trying to sound like a fanboy, but has been super accurate compared to the rest. A bear market is the ideal moment to learn a lot. So this guy charges. Well, this is the thing, you know, if you're being cynical, and you see this in lots of industries where people who don't, you know, if you don't respect the opinion of someone or the experience or knowledge of someone, there's always going to be people like this within any industry: tech, sports, gambling, investments, whatever it may be. There's going to be people when you say, well, I don't think that guy knows a lot, and they're charging hourly rates for giving their expertise. But if I'm being cynical, there's always going to be people who make money from teaching others. And I've seen this myself. For example, in affiliate marketing, people will sell books based on how I made $10,000 or how I made $100,000. And these guys are idiots and they don't know how to make money online. And yet they're teaching others how to make money online. And the only way they're making money online is by teaching other people how you make money online. That's self-fulfilling prophecy, or fake it until you make it. So if I'm being cynical, I'm not talking about this guy in particular, but just anyone. If you're being cynical, if someone is an absolute expert in TA, or they are an expert in trading, then why the hell would they be spending their time teaching others? Why aren't they just focusing on their own trades? Why aren't they just, you know, it's not always a black and white that though, is that though, because I realize that there are benefits for someone to raise their profile because they can make money through other things. But I'm always skeptical when someone's main source of income, the main source of income, is from teaching others how to make money, you know, doing the thing they're teaching, rather than just them making money from it. I explained that really badly. I know I did. I think, I mean, I'm not familiar with Tone Vays. Well, I say I'm not familiar. I've probably watched a video or read an article about him at one point. But by the sounds of it, he's not a shill. It looks like he's just looking at a particular situation and giving his opinion. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. He's saying, you know, this is what I think will happen given A, B, and C. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't do that with trading. I don't do that with coin prices. But whenever I look at something like, you know, I was talking about Bitmain earlier, I give my opinion. I give you, you know, what my thoughts on it are. Sometimes I'm right on the money. Sometimes I'm way off the mark. So I'm not talking about trading. But of course, you know, if you're just simply giving your opinion on something, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Those who can do, those who can't teach. Yes, it's a cliche, but it is that cliche probably sums up better than I did. If he was so good, he wouldn't be needing YouTube though, would he? Yeah, I think I would certainly be more willing to trust someone who has 10 years of trading in Wall Street than someone who, you know, just starts trading and starts looking at lines. I think, new to crypto, I think TA is BS, but charts are read relatively the same, so the reactions, so it works to a point. I prefer FA. This is the best way for make money at this point. He got his BitMEX account suspended. Why was that? Can I just clarify that, you know, at this point, I'm not talking about, you know, when I was talking about people shilling and all that, I wasn't talking about Tone Vays. I just think that, you know, as far as if you look at across social media, if you look at YouTube and Twitter and Instagram, Facebook and the lot, as far as the people out there that are in the same position as myself, some people refer to themselves as influencers, and I swear to God, I actually had a couple of people saying that at the conference to me. I'm like, oh, how's it going? How are you involved in crypto? And they said, I'm an influencer. I just, oh, fuck. You know what I mean? It's like, imagine introducing yourself as that. But, you know, there's a lot of people, and if you look at, you know, across social media, across these influencers, if you look at these influencers, or, you know, what they call influencers, I reckon, you know, at least 90% are just guessing, or, you know, they're just blowing hot air. And that's dangerous. I think you need to be careful with what people are saying. And guys, I mean this about myself as well. You know, if I talk about a project, a service, a coin, exchange, anything, if you get burned, it is not my fault. Go out there, do your own research into things yourself. You might find out something that I didn't find out in my research, because all I'm doing is giving an opinion. And that's what you need to be careful about. It's just, you can look at an influencer's YouTube channel or Twitter account, and you might not agree with what they said, but what they might do is point you in the right direction of, you know, a particular project or service or something. So you can get value from following certain people, even if you don't agree with what they say. But just be careful, you know, with these guys, as we were saying, those who can't teach. And without doubt, there is money in doing that. There is money in shilling coins. There is money in and just telling other people, you know, here's what to do. But I'm the way that I look at things, I'm not saying I'm the biggest cynic in the world, but when any YouTuber or, you know, whoever starts saying these are the 5 best projects to mine, or these are the 5 best projects to buy right now, you know, my bullshit radar just goes off the roof, because I know that these guys have got a hidden agenda. There hasn't been any updates since Tuesday, any official updates. They're still doing an investigation, etc. Chill cat. I mean, from what you guys are saying, he seems really good. He seems really good as far as what you guys are saying. For the most part, all you guys seem to have a very good opinion of him, so I'm sure he's good. If anyone decided to short Ethereum in 2018, they'd be rich as fuck right now. Yeah, you don't agree with everything he says, but yeah, you're not going to agree with everything that anyone says. I mean, I won't agree with everything that you guys all say, and vice versa. Do you intentionally avoid coins using proof of stake? Is that a general question to everyone, or me, or what? Navesh was saying, do you intentionally avoid coins using proof of stake? I don't intentionally avoid them. I just don't happen to be invested in any. He says all altcoins will die. Nah, I don't believe that for a second either. I don't believe that for a second either. And I think as well, if you look across the industry, I think you'd say that, you know, I know you've got the Lightning Network and they're trying atomic swaps and all these different things, but I would say that most of the innovation in the industry, as far as different ideas and different approaches to cryptocurrency, they're coming from altcoins. Because altcoins aren't restricted by an established chain. They're not, you know, restricted by Bitcoin. The way that Bitcoin is set up, because it's so popular and because so many people are mining it and all that, there's, you know, few things they can do, major changes, and things move a little bit slower, whereas a brand new project can just come right off, you know, right out the starting block, and they can do things completely differently, perhaps differently to the point where people are like, why are they doing it this way? But they can afford to do it that way because they've got nothing to lose. They don't have to please all the different miners and all that. So I think there's a lot of innovation. I think there's a lot of innovation coming from altcoins at the very least, and a lot of those coins will do well. D7 bought Ethereum in 2015 and sold in 2017. Wow, you done well there, mate. Yeah, well, when I started, Ethereum was several $100s. Sold at $900. Wow, you guys did well. Facebook creating their own crypto. Yeah, I saw some articles about that. I think I covered it in a stream, I think. ICO hype died down, so did a lot for value for Ethereum. Altcoins can provide new ideas and innovations which can be picked up by BTC. But a lot of innovations, I think there's certain things that just simply couldn't be adopted by Bitcoin simply because of the way it's set up. You know, I think if you think about it, a new project starting from the ground, you know, starting from scratch, starting from the ground up, they don't have to try and fix another system or change another system. They can just do what they want. So yes, a lot of the best ideas will be, you know, borrowed or stolen or whatever you want to call it. They will be used in Bitcoin, but there's certain things that simply can't be adopted in Bitcoin. Plus, I think that a lot of people just wanted, you know, they want to invest in projects that do things a little bit different, whether it be masternodes or a different mining algorithm or a different max supply or different block rewards or different, you know, duration of those block rewards. Quantify, I know for a fact that many startups in New York that had to be shut down, ICO projects and small trading firms all getting paid off in Ethereum. Those places and ICOs couldn't handle the dropping price of Ethereum. Was that not based on the fact, though, that the ICO was funded via an Ethereum token? Or it was funded via Ethereum? You know, because if they had exchanged that for fiat, they would have been fine, or even Bitcoin. DE7, right, so do you guys agree with this? He's saying we need alts to stop copying Bitcoin code and changing some settings, but coming up with a new name, new tech to matter. Yeah, there's a lot of Bitcoin forks. I mean, in the coding world, forks are normal. You know, if you look at open source projects, anything, Linux, Unix, you know, anything in tech, you know, I've seen it in content management systems like WordPress and Drupal and all that. Some of the best plugins, some of the best designs, some of the best products have forked from something else. And there's a reason for that. And, you know, as far as you take a project in a different direction, it's the better for everyone. But it also means that you can get a lot of people that simply, here's Bitcoin, and then I'm going to change this. There are projects out there that are simply Bitcoin, and then they've changed one little thing, which, well, Litecoin was an example of that in the beginning. Morning, Colt. Drupal is the best content management platform out there. I would disagree with that. Good system, though. So is Joomla. I'd disagree with that, Hugh. Anyway, that's off topic. We'll discuss that another day. There's nothing that you can't do in WordPress that you can do in Drupal. I would say vice versa as well. You know, WordPress has got a bigger selection of plugins and themes. I think does LTC, does Litecoin not, is it not got faster transactions? Am I right there? But that's probably based on, I don't know if did they change the block size? They changed something, didn't they? When they actually created it, they changed. I don't know if it was the blocks. They changed something. It was something they changed, but it was something very, very small, a very small detail. It wasn't like a major change and then, you know, made all these different changes. It was like one or two little things. It's actually coming up that I need to sign up for TradingView. I didn't know that happens after you start using it. I ain't signing up. Right, get this chat window back up. Fastest transactions and the mining script algo is script. But didn't they change something? I remember reading about it at the time. They changed something else. They changed something else at the time. I can't remember what it was. Yeah. Why speculate? I'm talking about from the right, see if I can find. I have read about this before. There was a document. I don't know if it was a Litecoin website, but it was, in fact, it's probably just the Wikipedia page. I'll get it from, won't it? Litecoin wiki. Where are you? I actually have to type in wiki. Right, see if we can get this. Litecoin. Okay. It was released via an open source client 2011 by Charlie Lee, a Google employee and former engineering doctor at Coinbase. Engineering director, sorry. Litecoin now went live in October 13, 2011. It was a fork of the Bitcoin client core. Okay, the year of differing primarily by having a decreased block generation time of 2.5 minutes, increased maximum number of coins, different hashing algorithm, and a slightly modified GUI. So what I was thinking about was the decreased block generation time and the increased max number of coins. So you can see it down here. Circulating supply, 59 million, 84 million supply, 2.5 minutes. So there's, in fact, it's got, I was reading that there, it's got the differences down here. 2.5 minutes instead of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's 10 minutes. But I mean, when you go back to that, I think that the criticism of there's too many, you know, Bitcoin forks and too many projects that don't add anything. If you go back to 2011, I think at that point they were saying, well, here's two major problems with Bitcoin as far as, you know, transactions are too slow and all that. And they said, well, we can change the algorithm and we can decrease the block time. So, I mean, it's really just a variation of Bitcoin when you look at it. No, I've not covered Beam. I don't think it's something I've covered. I don't think. Maybe wrong. Faster because it's not being used as much. Yeah, so, well, that's the thing. You know, I'd have to look at the number of transactions per second. If you look at the TPS of Bitcoin against Litecoin, and, you know, you'd have to have a kind of fair comparison with that to make any kind of fair, you know, fair, well, I guess comparison. But if you're comparing Litecoin and Bitcoin, you'd have to compare it like for like and say, you know, the number of transactions per second that Litecoin get. I suspect the number of transactions is insignificant in comparison to Bitcoin. Christopher Doyle, Litecoin is a testnet for Bitcoin. Right, guys, I'm going to tie up the stream soon because we've discussed a lot of different things. And we're going down the rabbit hole a little bit too much here. Thanks for watching, guys. I've unfortunately got some work to do. I need to kind of work on some things. Thanks for dropping by. I do appreciate it. And I'll try and do another live stream soon and cover more news and things like that. I mean, this week we've obviously seen a lot of news regarding hacks and attacks on exchanges. It's pretty annoying that that this continues to go on. It's not something I like to see, but hopefully we'll see some things you know, change in the future. Thanks, guys. I do appreciate it. Thanks for all the support. If you're watching this later or even just now, there are links underneath in the description area that links to most of the things that we've talked about in this video. Yeah, the bell icon is how you get notified. Although sometimes YouTube is a little bit funny as far as not notifying people until like 30 minutes later or so. I don't know why, but sometimes they don't notify people until like 30 minutes in. Quite frequently, you know, I'll be chatting and then it's like at one point I just get a big boost of numbers because YouTube's finally notified people. But yeah, you're supposed to hit the bell icon. But thanks, guys. I do appreciate it. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. If I see anything interesting news-wise through the weekend, I'll do a little video about it. But until then, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing all the links and all that. And I'll speak to you all very soon. Cheers, guys.